When we were talking about photosynthesis, I told you guys that light behaves as both a particle or photon and as a wave. Today, we're really going to be looking at the wave properties of light and how that affects a couple of phenomena that you guys are actually really familiar with: reflection and refraction. So let's take a look. One of the first ways that we're going to look at how light behaves deals with reflection. So for that, we're going to need a reflective surface. When you look into a mirror or some other reflective surface like that, what happens is light rays are coming in, hitting the reflective material, and bouncing off. And we're going to learn the very specifics about that in just a little bit. So when light hits a shiny material, it reflects. But there's another thing that can happen. Maybe the material is not so shiny, it's something a little different, more like glass or water. Then what happens is something called refraction. It takes the light and bends it. Let's look at an example. So if we look at some glass, we have a few different surfaces here. We have water, we have glass, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick a pencil in there, and let's see what happens to the reflection of the pencil. Do you see how there's several different ways that the pencil bends as it's going into the glass, right? In the way that your eyes view it. It's going in one direction and then it kind of gets offset. That's because the light itself that you're seeing is bending as it's going through the glass and as it's going through the water. And we're going to learn a little bit more about that as well. The third way that a light wave interacts with material is if the material is the type of material that doesn't allow for reflection or refraction, the light simply just enters the material and gets absorbed. So those are the three different ways that we have light waves interacting with material around us. So in the previous examples I just gave, we talked about how there are three different surfaces: reflective, kind of like the little bit shinier, different surfaces like glass and water versus air, and then other types of surfaces that just absorb. But the way that light reacts doesn't only depend on the type of surface, it also depends on the angle that the light is hitting at. And we'll go through all of those examples throughout this week.